Welcome back to the rarest coins. If you're a coin collector, or even if you just stumbled upon a quarter while digging through your change, today's video is going to be a real treat. We're going to be talking about a coin that could be worth a million, so yes, millions. It's the 1967 Washington quarter dollar. You might think, how could a 1967 quarter be worth that much? Well, stay tuned because you're about to find out. Let's start with the basics. The 1967 Washington quarter was part of the series of quarters struck from 1932 to 1998 featuring the image of George Washington on the obverse side and a bald eagle on the reverse. It was a regular circulation coin, minted in huge quantities like most coins from that era, and was no different from other quarters, right? Well, kind of. The 1967 quarter is a special coin to collectors, but only under certain circumstances. At first glance, you might think it's just another regular quarter in your pocket, but trust me, some of these 1967 quarters can be worth an absolute fortune. In 1967, the U.S. Mint was still producing the regular copper nickel-clad quarters. That year, over 250 million 1967 Washington quarters were struck across different mints of Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, most of these quarters were used in everyday transactions and didn't see much special attention. But as is often the case in the world of coin collecting, it's not always the coins that were intended to be rare that end up being valuable. So what's the deal with these 1967 quarters? Rarest coins. Let's jump to the 1967 proof quarter, a coin that was actually struck specifically for collectors. The proof version of the quarter wasn't meant for circulation, but instead produced in a much smaller number for people who were purchasing proof sets from the U.S. Mint. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 1967 proof quarter was struck using a special process that gave it a mirrored, almost flawless finish. These proof coins were made with extreme care, and many collectors actively sought them out as part of their proof sets. But here's the kicker: because the 1967 proof quarters were made in limited numbers, they've gained in value over the years. While proof coins are typically worth more than regular coins, it's not just about rarity. Condition plays a huge role in the value. For collectors, a 1967 proof quarter in perfect or near perfect condition can fetch thousands of dollars in today's market. Rarest coins. But it gets even more interesting. We're not just talking about the regular 1967 quarter or the proof coin. Some of these 1967 quarters have something special and rare. Specifically, we're talking about the double die error. This occurs when a coin is struck by a die that has been improperly aligned or damaged, causing the design to appear doubled or blurred. In the case of the 1967 Washington quarter, some of the coins were struck with a double die error on the obverse, front, side of the coin. You'll notice that the date 1967 or even some of the lettering, like Liberty or In God We Trust, looks like it has been stamped twice. This error makes these quarters highly sought after. Error coins, especially double die coins, are prized in the collecting community because they're incredibly rare and unique. So, how much could a 1967 Washington quarter with a double die error be worth? Well, the value can vary dramatically depending on the condition of the coin, but you could be looking at anywhere from $5,000 to over $100,000 for a perfectly graded example. Yes, you heard that right. These coins, especially when in high-grade condition, can fetch serious money at auctions or in private sales. To give you an example, a 1967 Washington quarter with the prominent double die error and MS65 or higher condition has been known to sell for upwards of $50,000 at auction. These coins have become collector's items because they are both rare and historical, making them extremely desirable. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're a coin collector, or even if you're just curious about what makes certain coins incredibly valuable, you are in for a treat today. We're going to be talking about a coin that you might have in your pocket right now, a coin that could be worth millions of dollars. Of the 1983 Washington quarter dollar. Yes, you heard that right. A 1983 quarter could be worth a fortune. Stick with me to find out why. Let's first get to know the 1983 Washington quarter. The coin, as the name suggests, features George Washington on the front, the first president of the United States. The reverse side displays an eagle in flight, which is a symbol of freedom and strength. Now, the 1983 quarter wasn't any different from the rest of the quarters minted during that time. It was struck in Philadelphia and produced in huge quantities, just like most regular circulating coins. So, how could one of those coins suddenly be worth millions? Rarest coins. So, here's the thing. In 1983, the U.S. Mint did something unusual. They produced a batch of quarters that were missing the mint mark. Normally, quarters produced in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but that's not what makes these quarters rare. The problem is that there was an error in the minting process that led to a small batch of 1983p quarters being struck with incorrect or missing design elements. This, my friends, is what makes the 1983p Washington quarter so interesting. To put it simply, the error makes some of the 1983p quarters incredibly rare. But it's not just about the error, it's about the fact that the minting mistake went unnoticed for a long time. These coins were distributed into circulation just like any other quarter. Rarest coins. The real kicker here is the double die error. Some of the 1983p quarters that got out there were struck with what's called a double die. If you look closely at the lettering or date on the coin, you may notice that the features are duplicated or doubled like a ghost image next to the original. This happens when a coin is struck by a die that has been misaligned during the production process. It may seem subtle, but trust me, collectors go wild over these kinds of errors. The rare 1983p double die Washington quarter is a holy grail for some collectors, and they're willing to pay top dollar for these. So why are these coins so valuable? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and demand. These 1983p double die quarters are super hard to find because, well, most people just didn't know they had something valuable. As a result, very few have survived in good condition. In fact, some of the finest examples of those error coins have sold for over $100,000 at auctions. And that's for a single coin, the one you might have in your change jar. Of course, most of these coins aren't worth that much, but even a mid-grade double die 1983p quarter can be worth thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. Alright, so you're probably wondering, how do I spot a 1983p quarter with the double die error? Great question. Let's break it down. First, look at the date 1983 on the coin. The double die error causes a noticeable separation between the numbers, so you'll see 2 3s, 2 8s, and so on. The letters on Liberty and In God We Trust may also show signs of doubling. Keep in mind, though, that this doesn't apply to every 1983p quarter. You're looking for a coin that has very clear doubling in those areas. Rarest coins. So, you've found a 1983p Washington quarter with the double die error. What's next? First, check the condition. If your coin is in mint or near mint condition, you may have something worth a significant amount of money. Get it professionally graded by a service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin will. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're a coin collector or just love finding hidden treasures in your spare change, today's video is going to blow your mind. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 2015 D Washington quarter dollar. You may be thinking, a 2015 quarter? What's so special about that? Well, stick around because this coin could be worth a lot more than you think. That's right up. This modern coin, minted just a few years ago, could potentially fetch millions. Want to know why? Let's get into it. Rarest coins first. Let's talk about the 2015 D Washington quarter in general. This coin is part of the Washington quarter series, which has been in circulation since 1932. The 2015 D version is part of a special set of state quarters released in the 50 State Quarters program. In 2015, the U.S. Mint released a set of quarters honoring America the Beautiful, with 5 different designs representing national parks and historical sites across the country. The 2015 D Washington quarter specifically features a design from 2015's series of quarters, honoring Homestead National Monument of America in Nebraska. It features an image of a homestead cabin, a symbol of the spirit of America's pioneers. Rarest coins. It's an elegant coin, and the design is meant to celebrate American history. But, even though it was minted in high numbers, over 200 million of these quarters were made in Denver alone. There's a twist to this story that makes some of these 2015 D quarters highly valuable. But to understand why, we need to dive into a pretty rare coin error that has made waves in the collector's market. So, here's the deal. As with many coins, especially those from modern minting, sometimes errors occur during the production process. In the case of the 2015 D Washington quarter, a double die error was discovered on some of the coins. This is a very rare, highly sought-after error that happens when the coin is struck more than once with a misaligned die, resulting in a duplicated image. When you examine a quarter with a double die error, you'll notice that the date, lettering, and sometimes even parts of the design appear doubled like a shadow of the original design next to the normal one. It's a fascinating effect that happens during the minting process. The mistake occurs when the coin die receives multiple strikes, either because of wear or misalignment, leading to multiple impressions. Rarest coins. So, why is this error so valuable? The answer lies in the rarity and the demand for rare coins among collectors. A double die coin is like a hidden treasury, extremely hard to find, even harder to authenticate, and highly prized by serious collectors. The rarity of a double die is what makes it worth so much. Only a small fraction of the 2015 D quarters were struck with this error, which makes finding one in circulation a stroke of luck. And as more and more collectors search for those types of coins, the value goes up. The 2015 D double die quarter is no exception. So how much is a 2015 D Washington quarter with a double die worth? Well, the price can vary significantly based on the condition of the coin. A circulated, mid-grade 2015 D double die quarter might be worth a few $100s, but if the coin is graded in uncirculated or mint condition, its value can skyrocket. Rarest coins. In fact, some high-grade examples of those error coins have sold for as much as $10,000 or more in recent auctions. But it doesn't stop there. Coins in perfect MS-67 or higher condition have been known to go for over $50,000, and sometimes even more if they are one of the most extreme examples of the error. Imagine finding one of these in your pocket change. It could be a literal goldmine. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if your 2015 D Washington quarter has this valuable double die error? Great question. Let's break it down. 1. Look at the date. The first thing you'll want to check is the date, 2015. On a double die error coin, the numbers in